Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Joining you again for another edition of the latest and greatest in the world of VR, covering all the latest news. And I guess the big one to kick it off from last week, we finally saw Ghosts of Tabor launch on the official MetaQuest store.
Boy, going with that one first.
I got to get it out of the way to start the show.
I would have held that one till the very end.
Why? Because then viewership goes doo. That was funny during the showcase.
No, that's how it is in showcases.
Yep. Anything featuring Tabor, as soon as Tabor is finished, you can always see the live viewership just doo. That's funny how that goes.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, they officially launched on the official MetaQuest store.
Yeah.
And we played in the evening, East Coast time.
Yeah.
When, that night, and we had no server issues.
Nope.
Everything went smooth.
Everything was lovely.
And man, since the wipe, I think we'll call it a wipe season. You're
jinxing where you're going with this, and I already know where you're going.
Yeah, you want me to shut up. I can already tell.
But whatever.
But, I'll refer to it from wipe to wipe as the wipe season. This is probably our best wipe season yet so far.
OMG, dude.
We're doing good. I'm happy.
It's not even funny.
We've usually, would you say like 50-50? Like we're a 0.500 player. Usually we're like, we successfully extract and we die. Yeah. Not the case this one. Have we died yet?
Don't say it. Yeah, no, we have not.
Since this wipe?
The worst that's happened is we've taken a bullet.
Yeah. Now, granted, we only do a couple raids a night.
Yeah.
It's not like we're sitting there playing 12 hours or nothing in one sitting.
Oh, no.
And that's only because, we play when we get out of work and everything like that. But, so far, I'm pretty happy. So I'm excited to see where things are done by the time it's ready for the next wipe.
The backpacks that I've been scoring from people. Mm-hmm. And the weapons and...
Oh, my goodness. You shot somebody running to the house, to the docks?
Yeah.
They were double fisting backpacks, fully looted up. That in their mind, they had to be thinking like, I hope nobody is in that house.
Yeah.
Knowing that they're taking a chance. And you shot him with 2 hands full of backpacks. Yep. He must have been so salty. We've all been there.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
One of them I'd call a survival pack. Like that thing was loaded for nothing but
NRSs.
Long term. Mm-hmm. Like I'm here hunting for a while. But dude, his gun was so jacked out.
This is probably
it had unnecessary attachments.
That's a good looting though. This is probably the most aggro we've been. It's good. I'm enjoying it. We're having fun.
You know what? I'm tired of talking to the whole Combat Waffle team and like everybody but like 1 or 2 all takes the, fuck that. We're going hunting.
Which hey, no, we still are out there to stay alive.
Oh, dude, don't get it twisted. But even last night when we were playing, not only did we hit our normal spots that we won't mention, but you started wanting to go places that are
a little bit more risky.
Oh, dude.
Known for player combat.
Yep. Like you're not going to avoid it. And I was like, fuck it. We've been having so many good runs.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I've used my same gun since the wipe.
And I can't believe we left with stuffed backpacks.
Mm-hmm. So I'm happy with this wipe season. Tabor's functioning smooth.
Yeah. That was great news to see.
The servers held up strong. There are some bugs. That I saw Scott make a Discord post yesterday saying,
you're talking minimal though.
Yeah, very small quality of life things. But in typical Combat Waffle fashion, they're like, we'll have a patch out soon.
They're going to attack the shit out of it.
Yeah, well, look, they're in studio now.
Mm-hmm.
They have their new studio finished. Yeah. So let's see if that brings a whole new level of productivity. I can't even believe to say that because they've always been crushing it even as is.
Yeah, they got some pretty hardcore peeps working for them.
Yeah.
And each just like geniuses in what they do. So,
well, one of those being Spoon with Grim. I am so freaking hyped for Grim and then Silent North. And Scott dropped some good teasers on our last interview with him.
Go to Grim's Discord. You can see videos.
Yeah.
That, Spoonfed is posted. So there's plus there was a video shown on Upload VR's
showcase back in the winter.
So, but you can see firsthand, and there's a lot of Discord members in there. Dude.
And you showed me a post from Mikael from the Combat Waffle team posting in the Grim Discord, like, dude, I played it, and as good as you all think it is, it's better.
Yeah,
you know, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so hyped.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, I'm just excited to see the because I don't go in there and whine, and I'm never like, where's Grim? I get this process. I understand how this works, and I'm happy just waiting for the
finished product. Same with Silent North.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they said sometime in 24, right? For Grim is what I thought.
I think that's what they said. They want to see sometime this year.
Yep.
Of course, you know how game development is.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, Spoon's all over that thing.
Yeah, Spoon's a beast.
That's like literally his.
And then in our last interview with Scott, he teased updates coming to Ghosts of Tabor, like, you know, an improved NRS system that you got to hold the NRS in.
There's some really good stuff coming.
The player reconnect system, so if you drop out, you can rejoin the same active game so long as your player hasn't died yet. You know, a bunch of really cool stuff coming to Ghosts of Tabor. And then he also teased some other games that they're working on, you know, like a StarCraft-esque game in the works with Ray.
Yeah, I like StarCraft.
And then he was teasing that they have their own kind of Pokemon-esque game that he's teasing Spoon about to make, you know?
Yeah,
so
man. I mean,
it's so cool to see that there's other genres besides just shooters in the works. Not, I don't mean to like just shooters, but there's other genres in the works at Combat Waffle too.
Yeah, I mean, the diversity of gameplay you're going to see from the studio is not going to be what you would think for the studio whose first game they pump out is Ghosts of Tabor.
Well, and you know me about strategy games. StarCraft wasn't my number one, you know, real-time strategy game, but it's a step in that direction.
Dude, it's fun.
And we heard Scott say, if done right, Civ in VR would work good, you know, and that's enough for me. Somebody's got to take it and ride. Come on, Sid Meier's, where you at? Civ in VR would be so badass. But no, huge stuff for Ghosts of Tabor launching on the official MetaQuest store. No hiccups. Still holding a good rating. It's not like people went in and, oh, now it's a different audience.
Hasn't gotten review bombed.
No, everything's going good and a lot more updates to come.
Their Discord continues to grow too.
Yep. So. Great stuff in the works with them with other titles too. So 2024 is going to be the year of Combat Waffle. Yeah.
Grim.
We've said it. We've said it enough, but it's so true.
Listen, your Civ is my Grim. Right?
I get it.
There's something about, I don't know.
Well, yours
man.
is close. Mine's is a fantasy.
Mine's happening.
Yeah, yours is freaking close. Mine's a fantasy. So, you know.
It was one of those things like first time I heard what it was, I was like, this is right up our alley. This is like going to be a great freaking thing. So
yeah, so I'm hyped for that. And so our night of playing the last like week has been Ghosts of Tabor, going for a raid or two, you know, kick some ass as you know, chew some bubble gum and kick ass is how it's been recently. And then after that, we'll pop into Townsmen VR, which thanks to the MetaQuest creator program, we were able to take advantage of it and get some free keys for Townsmen VR.
Yes.
Which is a game that we've been curious about since it launched because it's Quest 3.
Again, right up my alley.
Yeah. I mean, top-down city builder. It's kind of like a deism.
Deism with like campaign.
Yeah. I mean, and the story's really good. And we had been curious about it. One, because it's up our alley.
That's really, I shouldn't say that because it's a little more than just, you know, that with campaign, but just that style.
No, I think that's a pretty good way. If anybody's played deism and then they went into this game, they would say that that's a fair comparison.
Okay, fair enough.
In my opinion, at least.
I just don't want to throw like insult to anybody or whatever.
If you didn't use that comparison, I'll be honest with you, in a couple minutes, I probably would have, you know, because it makes sense. A lot of people have played
that's
deism.
What made the gameplay easier for me was like, I'm like, all right, I've already done this in VR before. And same thing with like little cities and.
Yeah, it's got that grab and pull movement and pick things up. And
Demio, you know, same shit.
And it is available on PC VR, but for the Quest ecosystem, it's only available on the Quest 3. So I was like, I definitely have to check this one out. And we didn't check it out when it dropped. You know, there's a lot going on. Our showcase, just busy with other stuff. And then, you know, again, thanks to the MetaQuest creator program, we were able to get free keys for that. So our week of gaming has been Tabor and then going into Townsmen VR, which I am so freaking hooked on. Their campaign is decently long.
Yeah, like 15 15 different levels.
You're definitely ahead of me. I'm probably on like level 6 or 7, I think, and like 11.
I'm on 10, I believe.
Yeah, you're getting closer. But there's a sandbox mode too. So it's like
I'm not touching sandbox until I'm
done with the
100%
campaign.
done with the campaign. I'm telling you, dude, any game I've ever played my whole life, I see a sandbox mode. It's hard not to go to that first, right? But I don't want to ruin anything in the game by having too much available at my disposal. But right now, as it stands today, I have not even clicked on sandbox.
Well, even where I'm at in the campaign, it's like they're still teaching you new stuff each mission. So it's like if I went straight into the sandbox mode in this, I'll tell you right now, I would have been overwhelmed, not really understanding how to make all the resources I need and get military people. I probably wouldn't have known I'd even need them. So I'm very glad I did I'm doing the campaign first. But my fear is that like the sandbox mode kicks ass. And as long as it's taking me to get
sandbox mode, of course it will.
It's taken me a while to get through the campaign, so it's like, man, I'm probably going to have double the playtime on this once I'm done with the campaign, just having fun in sandbox.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we should give a little backstory. I mean, we've kind of mentioned how the game's played, but like there's actual like characters and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they tell a nice story with
Sir
like...
Crunkalot.
Yeah, with avatars there. They have kind of like the face and the hands. And it just tells a nice story about...
It guides you through going to each little island, and you have to set up a town on every single island.
Yeah, you have a companion named Sir Clunkalot.
Sir Clunkalot.
So you can tell right
He's
off the top. Yeah, you can tell right off the top. The game has a nice, silly atmosphere.
Would a knight be a sir, or sir like something different?
He definitely looks like a knight.
He looks like a knight. But if you were a knight, how are you properly... See, that's the issue.
I think it's Sir.
Sir?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
But whatever. You know, he's
if I was a knight, I'd want recognition for that.
He's Sir Clunkalot.
Sir Clunkalot.
And I won't go fully through the story, no spoilers or anything, but it starts with like, you need to find your way back to King Richard. That's the king of the kingdom that you're in. And you're shipwrecked and, you find an island and then you repair that island. Stuff happens. You go to another island, and each mission is essentially building stuff on a new island.
Yeah. In every single island, like you mentioned, they throw like a new addition or a couple of new features.
Here's how you cook.
So
here's how you farm.
Their integration of using game progression along with available new stuff to play with progression is freaking amazing. And dude, the zoom out.
Yep, you just grab and pull yourself out.
And when you go
pull
to
your hands together, push yourself in.
When you go to large mode, holy crap. It's pretty decently sized.
Yeah.
It's like zoom level to a whole new level.
And the islands definitely vary in size too. The initial ones are pretty small and they start to get bigger. And some items are very big. So you have to be smart about where you place things because you can't build on slopes, anything with like bumpy terrain.
No.
So there's some buildings, it's like the only spot in the map to build it is like here or there. So if you put other buildings there, you're going to have to tear them down to eventually build that building. But it's got a cool concept. It's like you need certain resources.
It's you need fish, you need meat, you need water.
Yep.
You need lumber. And then I don't want to give a couple of buildings away that you will get, but there's some other things that you need.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, do
the basic necessities, anyways.
To do anything, you need the other resources. Like, you can chop wood, get stone, and now you go to build a iron forge or something like that. Or I don't want to spoil all the buildings. I get what you're saying.
I'm being soft with what buildings are. Maybe it's not even a spoiler.
No, but when you start,
but to me that'd be like going into sandbox mode just to see every building that there is, and it's like, because I do respect.
I didn't think there was going to be combat in it. I already mentioned that. That was a little bit, but so that was a nice little pleasant surprise.
If you look at you figure out there's combat just by even looking at their store page.
But they did a good job, integrating everything together.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
You need to assign people to pretty much doing every resource available in order to progress anything.
You're in charge. So it's like to me, it have a soft spot for this type of gaming because it's got all the things I like and, upgrades, add-ons, the fact that you can take someone and change their role in real time.
You have your houses, which dictate your population.
Your residents.
Yeah, which you can upgrade a lot of the different buildings as the story progresses to make them better, including the houses, which then you can have more population. So let's say you have 3 houses and your total population's 8.
Yeah.
If you can upgrade them up, your total population would be like 15. And in order to get a new person, you have to take a piece of cooked meat and put it into the house. And then, take one of your builders, they'll go over there and then poof, a new person pops up.
The only way to get cooked meat is to have
a tavern.
A tavern that has a chef that freaking brings water, meat, and fish.
And the only way to get meat is to go hunt for it, or other methods that you progress through farming later on.
Dude, the game I absolutely love it.
Yeah, they did a great job of having me hooked. But we found out a great tip.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it's all right.
Way too long into the game. Maybe they even showed this in the tutorial. I just swear they didn't.
No, this wasn't in the tutorial, I don't think.
So, let's say you go to build an item and it says it needs 2 stone and 2 wood. Then you assign a builder to it. You'll watch the builder go walk to the source of the resources, the wood or the stone. They'll grab one, pick it up, walk all slow, put it in, and then you have to watch them build a little bit, and then they'll walk back, grab the next piece. It can take a while to build something. Then we started to be like, hey, let's pick up the person and move them closer. Yeah, that saves some time. But then what we really learned is if you, with your hands, your giant god hands can go and grab the resource from the stockpile that it's at and yourself put it in the building, and then the person only needs to go there and build. So you can reduce the time of building a building by like 500%.
Yeah. I mean,
it's ridiculously
to me, there's
faster.
2 ways you can play it. You can set your residents to, or your peeps, to do whatever task you want
and just
wait
sit back
it out
and relax.
because you can, if anyone's ever played a sim game, they know how economy works and shit.
You just got to let that shit build for a bit.
Yeah, and just chill back. You can play it sitting, which it's my preferred method to play it. Or, you can put a rush on it and be like, I'm going to help everyone out and do what you just said. Grab the stone, drop it in the building, put the person there, they'll fucking clink, 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 clink. Boom, building done. It's a game changer. So, I mean,
I recommend that to people. Get involved in your building. Don't just leave it up.
You can be as involved as you want to be. I mean, no matter what, you need involvement, right? But if you want to go that extra level,
it saves you a lot of freaking time because there's no fast forward feature like there is on a lot of different.
That is the fast forward feature.
Yeah, doing it yourself.
Put in a little bit of the effort. But if you don't, you'll still get the same result. It's just going to take significantly longer.
Yeah, so wicked fun game. We're hooked. Not done with it yet. Still going through the campaign, and then we have to go through the sandbox. But oh my goodness, is it fun? If somebody,
I totally recommend it.
Yeah, if somebody
like that style of games too. Holy crap!
I was gonna say if you like
so good.
If you like those top-down strategy games, this one's definitely going to be up your alley.
Yeah.
And it was cool, like I said, took advantage of the MetaQuest Creator Program, able to secure our first keys through it, that was pretty cool. And then another game that we've been playing and having a blast with, Samba de Amigo. That's another one that we got free keys for through the MetaQuest Creator Program.
Mm-hmm.
Man, in single-player mode, the game is a blast.
Dude, I'm a sucker for a good rhythm game. So right off the bat, I played it for 5 minutes and then started playing like the hardest mode.
And it's really not a hard game.
No, it's fun. I mean, they make you do poses.
Specific movements too.
Specific movements.
You have like 6 rings all around you. You have to put the maracas to match them as they come. There might be once. You find yourself dancing.
And what I was
Decent
most
soundtrack.
happy to see was the amount of music they had. I was like, all right, this is like, they're really bringing, and even and they had Culture Club, Karma Chameleon. They had some Bon Jovi in there.
Yep.
They have a whole bunch of, but I've loved every single song on there. There's a lot of songs.
Wicked fun. And they have that classic, like just pick a song and play mode.
Yep.
They have like a kind of an influencer mode where that's kind of what I took as their career mode.
That's the one I have a lot of time in that.
Yeah, where they give you challenges to do to build up followers in the game, and you have to kind of build up your online following.
Hell, man.
And then they also have some mixed reality modes. They do have only one multiplayer mode. This was the part that kind of caught me off guard.
Oh, World Party?
Yeah, where we haven't played that game mode yet, but you go in and there's like 20 Samba de Amigos, and there's 20 Amigos, we'll say, playing it. And then the best move on to the next round, and then the best move on to the next round, and the best move on to the next round until there's only one left. So that sounds pretty fun, but
it's a good workout.
what kind of caught me off guard is I went into this I just wanted to play with you.
Yeah.
I wanted, we do in Synth Riders, Beat Saber, Ragnarok, any of them.
I'm trying to think of ones that don't.
No, that's like a pretty standard aspect of rhythm games, is just being able to grab your buddy and go, let's do a song or two. And we were really excited to do that.
I guess we're really, really, really missing something.
And we were going through the menu and we were like, oh,
I don't see a way to.
You can't do that. Okay.
So because I clicked on the world one.
No, I looked up other reviews and it said the same thing. There's no just play with your friend multiplayer mode. We're not missing anything.
That's bumming. I mean, you might be able to server time it. We've done that a few times.
Yeah, so both go 3, 2, 1, and then click the
quick start and then see if you're in there. What sucks is,
but then that's the game mode of elimination. That's not what I want to do. I just want to do a song and pick another song and do another. So it's like we went right to the complex without doing the basics. So I was very caught off guard by that. But it's still a fun game in single player.
Yeah, it's better and more than I hoped it would have been.
Yeah,
and I knew when they even showed the release of when it was coming. I was super excited for it.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out timing wise that we could really even get to play it. So I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, it's
I just
fun.
like having another good rhythm game,
I get into character with it. I'm dancing, I'm having fun. So I like it. It's a lot of fun. If
it's
you enjoy,
its own thing.
If you enjoy rhythm games, you're definitely going to enjoy it, but I just wish it was standard multiplayer,
That would be the game changer. Because then you and I would play it together.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we do not do that.
No, we went in with the attention to, but just could
I
not.
was so bummed too. I was like, where is it, dude? Because sometimes, admittingly, I struggle to find and it's happened with a few games. Dude, how do you even set up a room? So I really thought we were missing something.
No, just not in there. Crazy.
Bumming. I still recommend it though.
Yeah,
it's a great game.
And you know what? That was another one, like I said, we got free keys for through the MetaQuest Creator Program. So let's see what we sit down today and go looking and hunting for next. I want to play Hunt Together real bad. We just need to get a good crew for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not technically a solo game.
No, that's the 3 versus 1 psychological horror PvP game, if I remember correctly. So that might be next on my list. Stay tuned for next week to see what else we've been diving into.
Flock of the Low God, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to be Scrooge McDuck with grabbing game keys and playing them. I'm having a blast so far. So, we'll do one piece of news and let's take our ad break before I forget. But Among Us, they dropped a new temporary game mode, a lights out game mode, as they call it. It's kind of like a tug of war type thing where you have your engineers and then you have your imposters, and the engineers are going to do their tasks to help fix up the ship. The imposters are going to try to sabotage and kill people. That aspect remains the same. But now in Lights Out, as the engineers complete tasks, the lights and the vision increases. And as the imposters kill people and sabotage, the available vision and lights decrease. So there's this kind of tug of war of lighting going on during the game as well, depending on how things are playing out.
Yeah, I'm curious what level of dark they're going to go to. Obviously, they can't go pitch black.
But think of it, that means as the imposters start to do good, it gets easier for them to do good because it gets darker, right? And that's the dream situation for an imposter's darkness. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Not even going to know who killed.
It's actually a really, really
smart idea.
Yeah.
When I read it, I was like, wow, that's actually a good one.
It has me wanting to do that. So
yeah. And it makes it's a good advantage, in my opinion, for the imposters where as you start to do good, it snowballs. Now it's going to be easier to kill the next and sabotage because nobody can see you.
Nope, just another cool game mode.
Yeah. And then they also did add some paid DLC with hats. You can buy new hats as well too. So
look pretty cool.
Yeah. But the thing I'm most hyped for definitely is the the game mode. And I think the new DLC is like $2-3 for the cosmetics too. Not anything you need. And if you want them,
for nothing, they never charge a lot.
No, not at all. So that was a wicked cool sounding game mode. Definitely one I got to check out. Maybe we'll have to host a little Discord event for it. Which, since we're about to
That's the way to do it.
Since we're about to take an ad break, got to give a shout out to our Discord community. Bunch of kick-ass people. We just went into a nice little game of walkabout over the weekend. And then the book club aspect of our Discord, all the different VR discussion, the food pictures, it's a good place to be. So if you're a listener of the show, you haven't joined the Ruff Talk VR Discord yet, go hop in there for some good VR discussion, bunch of different other aspects as well. I know you wanted to give a good shout out to the
book club, man. It's another one of Amelia's creations.
Yeah, I mentioned it quick, but it's like, besides game meetups, like we said, Walkabout Mini Golf, they got this.
I'm not reading the book in the book club because, let's be honest, I'm not like sitting down to novels and stuff on a nightly basis, self-admittingly. But so they started the book club, and then I'm actually trying to figure out now, like, how in this point, like, how'd you all even hear of this book? But the current book, and I guess it's okay to say it because if technically you want to join Discord just to talk about this book, you're more than welcome to, because there's a channel for it. But it's The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, who actually, because I'm like, well, who's Becky Chambers, self-published and started with a Kickstarter campaign.
Wow, that's cool.
And then was picked up. But I'm like, hey, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. So it's worth the shout out because that's somebody who, like, I mean, how much more like bottom of the food chain can you be when you're like, look, Kickstarter campaign, and then people showed up. So that's the current book if you want to take part in the conversation.
No, but just overall cool concept that's going on. It's we got game meetups, we got food discussion, book clubs, movie discussion, music discussion.
Yeah.
So go check out the Ruff Talk VR Discord. Grows by the day. Bunch of cool activities, bunch of cool events. Fun place to be. Very non-toxic, welcoming community too. So
lots of giveaways.
You join. There's going to be too many people waving at you, saying hi. It's great. I love.
Yeah,
to
if
see
nice
it.
people's not your thing, this is not your place.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I always
get annoyed from the minute you go in there. Too many people saying hello.
I always love when I see that somebody join and instantly people are waving. I'm like, this community is the best. So go join out the Ruff Talk VR Discord. Link is in our show notes. And also, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters that continue to support us month after month. I always like to give a weekly on-air shout out to the people on the on-air shout out tier. We have huge thank you to Asim, Carson, who's new. He came from the gaming showcase. Yes, after scooping up every key. I'm glad he won because then he joined our Patreon after. Woo!
He should change his name to Key Ninja.
And I think he's actually technically didn't join through the Patreon. He joined through the YouTube memberships as well. So that's another option, to support the show. You don't only have Patreon. You can donate during the live videos, and you can also do our Patreon memberships directly through YouTube, which is what Carson did. So again, we have Asim, Carson, Earth Witness, Mike Morbid, Amelia, Crispy, and Shoes. So thank you all so much for your continued support. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in week after week. And again, we'll be back with you after a moment from these sponsors.
Cheers to the new year from our friends at Manscaped, because your resolutions shouldn't be the only things that are well kept. 2024 is the time for new heights, new opportunities, and a new look for your Times Square balls. Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the next page of confidence for this year. Whether you're looking to maintain a trim or go for that clean-shaven look, this trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide, now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Happy New Year and happy new balls. Introducing the MVP of 2024, Manscaped's 5th generation lawnmower. It's not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick. Equipped with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It's like having a personal stylist at your fingertips, or, well, whenever you need it. And did we mention it's waterproof? because a trim in the shower is the only way to start the day. And for my men who want the full grooming experience, look no further than Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0. In this grooming kit, you get the trusted lawnmower, Manscaped's ear and nose hair trimmer, and essential aftercare products with the Crop Soother, ball aftershave lotion, and a crop preserver anti-chafing ball deodorant. As a gesture for the new year, they even threw in 2 free gifts, the Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag, because they know good, and well, we know you're still rocking your boxers from high school. Let's face it, resolutions might come and go, but a well-groomed you is here to stay, thanks to Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Because nothing says Happy New Year like a deal that leaves your balls and your budget feeling refreshed. Embrace a new you, and definitely embrace a new trimmer, courtesy of Manscaped.
And we are back. And to kick off the return of the news from the ad break, Genotype, a game that is innovative. You know, I had a blast with it, and we actually had a great interview with the developers of it. One of the developers, Mark, he actually hangs out a bit in our Discord, has attended some of our little meetups and stuff too. So great little dev team. They hustle pretty much right after the game dropped. They released right around the same time as the Quest 3, but obviously the Quest 3 wasn't out yet. They didn't have one for development, so they launched the game. Quest 3 comes out, and people are instantly asking, like, where's the Quest 3 upgrade? And within like a week, they had an update out. They've since then put out more and more updates, and they just recently rolled out a combat overhaul update, adding new weapons, new enemy variants as well, improved enemy AI, and enhanced visuals, as well as some other, quality of life fixes and such. So the team is, never stopping over at Bulwark Games.
No, it's good to see they haven't stopped, that they took something good and they're going to keep building on it. So
enhanced enemies, enhanced weapons. Come on. That's all people want to hear. And their combat system was really unique, with it being on your hand, and you like doing alien shit with it. Yeah, that game was innovative, to say the least.
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest comments about it was, there is a slight learning curve with the shooting, because it's not like what you'd expect, but I like that they had brought their own unique flavor to the table.
And it's got a good story, so wicked cool to see them, hard at work, improving not only the combat, but also still improving the visuals, even though they did put out a quick Quest 3.
Already did.
And they're probably like, now we're going to do a real one.
Yeah, I can't wait to give it a spin.
Yeah.
As they would say.
There's a lot of games coming out with updates recently, including another one that we loved, Barbaria. They just put out what sounds like a huge update to me. I haven't gotten the chance to check it out yet, but it's a roguelite update, which gives you rewards for how long you last, it seems.
Man, I have so many. I'm like dying to go play it.
It sounds like you like clear one, not dungeon, but like one area, and then you go to the next, and then you go to a next, and then you go to a next, and you go to a next. Let's see what happens. I'm curious the rewards for it, how worth it is to do instead of the standard game mode, but that was a very unexpected game mode in that game.
Kind of a shadow drop game mode update.
Yeah. A roguelike game mode in Barbaria, never would have thought. So that's wicked cool to see. Stalwart Games, that's the developers. We actually interviewed, one of the members from there as well, Andrew. He was a great guy. And Barbaria is one of my favorite games of last year. They have their eras, is what they call kind of their seasons. So this is the roguelite era. Fucking so cool.
Yeah. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, if anybody's tried it yet, I'm curious. How worth it is it to do? Like I said, versus
technically, when I first saw the news, I should have jumped right into it, but I just because of
other things,
we'll say pre-scheduled stuff we have to do,
aka hunting in Tabor.
It sucks,
Going little Timmy hunting.
That's our. I mean, yeah, okay. So we play Tabor every night, but it's usually just. It's usually like to loosen up and let's do a round of Tabor or whatever. Sometimes two, but it doesn't take like hours to play it. So what the frick, man?
We're pretty quick at this point with
and
getting
then
our
we go into
ready.
Like other stuff that
another game's not going to stress me out or get my adrenaline going like Tabor. So I'm usually better in other games after playing Tabor because I'm so mellow.
It's a win-win, dude. If you get killed, then we sometimes just okay. Now let's go do.
Yep, that was how this night went.
And if we make it, like you said, the adrenaline rush, it's like great. You're in a different, mind. You feel great.
And I feel
but
like
even getting killed, you're like, okay, it's like, I'm just going to not press my luck.
I'm trying to take advantage of there probably being new Quest players as well. I want to get those kills. I want to take advantage of there being
newbies?
Yeah. I want to take advantage of there being new Quest players, It's a limited time before these people become very good.
Oh, man, you're terrible.
That's what I think what happened with the 2 backpack guy. He was a new player. Probably had the best run of his life.
But dude, how did Backpack Guy get so much loaded gear so
Probably
quick?
had the best run of his life. Was like, I love this game. And then out of nowhere, freaking Stratus sitting in the window.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom. You go, I got him. That's mine.
Oh, when I saw what he had on him, I was like, we're out.
Mm-hmm.
We got to leave. We got to leave right now. I'm not taking any chance. I don't want to run into some
What else is there to
like
grab? I can't hold anything more there. There's no space in my backpack. I got no more hands. I got gun here. I got my vest loaded out. I can't grab any more. There's no point in being here. Dude, we're doing runs where it's like I have to bring in food and water because we're staying long.
We're going for the long haul.
I'm not going for that quick extract unless, like you said, you get a kill or a loot and you go.
Sometimes the loot's too good.
Yeah.
You start looking at like the totality of what you have. And it's like, nope, it's no longer worth it to get accidentally taken out.
We've always
sometimes, hey, we go in pretty light sometimes, and when you leave with a stuffed out, I mean, dude, you're to the point where you're throwing shit on the ground now and choosing which rifle you want to keep. And
we've always both given each other veto power of like instantly at any point due to a loot find, either one of us can say it's time to extract, and we've always respected it because it's like, we get it.
We know.
Sometimes you find that one item and it's like, I just need to put it into my safe house and then let me go back in and we'll do this again. But I need to make sure I leave with this.
So it was the first time I found a laser.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And
a helmet.
Yep. I was like, I'm out. Those brand new experiences. I'm like, I'm not even fucking playing.
I'm finding so many of those black vests recently too.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're everywhere right now.
They're
so
nice.
Good times in Tabor, but games are
on the island.
I think we got here because we were talking about Barbaria, of why you didn't hop in the roguelite update. So huge props to Barbaria continuing to innovate, and roguelite and Barbaria was not expecting that. Like you said, shadow drop game mode, but
cannot wait to see what like the system is.
Definitely have to go check it out. And then last on the news for today of game updates, a game that we had so much fun with in co-op in their campaign, Arizona Sunshine 2. They announced that tomorrow they're going to have a Quest 3 update with enhanced visuals for the Quest 3 and such. So it's like, damn, there's so much shit to play, but I think I got to go check that out.
Yeah, I almost wish I knew that was coming. Maybe I would have held off playing it.
You're not the first person I've seen say that.
Yeah.
We're at a weird point where until, this is
just because it's story based and it's like, yeah, I'm getting that there's going to be visual improvements, but is it going to be enough to that in itself to some, I kind of wish I knew.
I think we're at the point where games that come out today, and if not today, within the next couple of weeks, we're at the point where if a game comes out, it's going to be optimized for the Quest 3 at release. But there's this weird window of games that came out like October to December, even November to December, where it's like they dropped and then later the Quest 3 enhancements came, which is understandable. It was the case with Genotype. I don't think they had a Quest 3 to test and make one on, make a build on. But it's interesting because it's like, yeah, maybe I would have.
Isn't Townsmen Quest 3 exclusive?
Yep, that's what I said before. It's the only game that's, you got to be careful.
How did they
you
do
have
that?
to be careful because if you say it's Quest 3 exclusive, people freak out because they say, no, it's on PC VR. That's not what I mean. Yeah. Yes, it is on PC VR. But for the Quest ecosystem,
it's only on
the Quest devices, only on the Quest 3 for the Quest devices.
They had to have had.
I don't know how that happened. It doesn't seem like the game that would be
timing wise and all. They didn't make the game in a week,
I think that this is pure speculation. I'm like, I wonder if they were like part of an internal test with Meta to say like, how does a Quest 3 only game sell? Because they need the data to see how a game sells when there's only a Quest 3
I think
available
the
on
only
it.
way you're going to get it running is on a Quest 3, really. Right?
You know, but it's not the game that I would have thought pushed it to that point. It's not the, I mean, it's great.
No, there's
graphics.
a lot of shit going on, though. A lot of individual movements taking place. And
well, then it made me wonder, is like these top-down real-time strategy games, are those the most difficult for the processor to run because of all the background computational, like mathematical shit going on? I was like, oh no, maybe that's why we don't have Civ in VR. Maybe it's like, that's way too complex.
I would think the rendering of an open world.
That's what I would think. That was always my impression.
But it only renders what your eyes can see. So I mean, it never renders.
But Asgard's Wrath 2 and Arizona Sunshine 2 and Assassin's Creed Nexus seem like way more difficult for the device to run than Townsmen VR.
I would think so.
So that's why I'm like, it's so interesting that this is the one that's only available on the Quest ecosystem on the Quest 3. You know, but also is, like I said, available on PC VR too. I don't need anybody coming for my neck. I've already seen it happen to people. They go, oh, it's Quest 3 exclusive. And people go, why are you saying that? It's available PC VR. You know, people just talk quick sometimes, you know, but I know what people mean when they say that. But Arizona Sunshine 2 coming out with a Quest 3 update. I really want to go check it out sooner rather than later because like the graphics in it, I didn't think that they were bad at any point.
No.
So
I'm a great time.
Curious to see if it's anything that's even like hugely noticeable. If it's like night, you go and you go, wow, this is way improved, or if it's going to be a bit more like, you know, you got to really look. You got to go in the corner and look.
Real easy way to test.
Go in and play.
No, have well, yeah, obviously go in and play, and have Amelia go in with her headset, and both take pictures of something at the same location, and then do a side by side. Then you'd be able to see. Get what I'm saying?
Not really.
So,
because you'd be comparing it with a PC VR player.
well,
But then you have no Quest 2 for reference either.
well, no, because you could plug your Quest 2 in anytime you want and take a picture. But I'm saying to see how it compares.
You would
to
really
the
need
PC
you would
VR.
really need all three players in there. You'd need a Quest 2 player,
Quest
a
3,
3 player, and a PC VR to
Yeah.
see how it goes.
to see how it looks compared.
Mhm.
So that, because I mean, if we're going to compare, people want to always compare it to the PC. Like it's not PC VR, but
Mhm.
let's see how close they're potentially getting it.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing with anybody who's got a PC VR
Mhm.
headset.
No, that would be an interesting comparison. I'm definitely
I'd
excited.
love to see that in Discord, a side by side.
Yeah.
But as long as it was the legit same pictures
Mhm.
in the same location, which is, you know, strategically can be tough, but
No, I think you could do it. You go into level 1.
just
So
always
it's
pick like,
Let's go. Everybody take a picture of that dumpster can on level 1,
well, dude,
whatever.
think about that in the course of like a couple of years, whatever, you're going to see those two
Mhm.
start getting closer and closer.
I think in some games, you know, like Population 1, it's already pretty freaking close. So the Quest 3 is quite the beast. And I'm curious to see how much of a difference it makes on Arizona Sunshine 2. So just 2 more pieces of news. And one of them's a little bit more negative. So I'll get that out of the way now so we don't end on a negative note.
Mm.
But I definitely did see the media headlines spinning this a bit more negative than it needed to be. Ubisoft did their quarterly earning report. And you know, they went through everything. Everything's good. And then people are doing a Q&A session. And somebody asks the CEO about VR. And he said that Nexus's sales, it's selling okay. It's still selling. But, you know, they were a bit disappointed. They had hoped it would sell a bit more. And that as such, you know, they're not yet ready to increase their investment in VR as they feel the platform still needs to grow a bit. And instantly the headlines went to just Ubisoft disappointed in, you know, Assassin's Creed sales and won't be involved in VR anymore. It's like, well, that's not what he said.
Clickbait.
He said he's just, he you know,
That's all that was.
he's just disappointed it didn't sell as much as they'd hoped, but it's still selling good. It's still selling now, like it's still selling units. It's just that they're not going to be putting more money in, but look at that they put money into Assassin's Creed Nexus.
It didn't say they were taking money out.
No,
We're
you could
not
spin that
continuing.
headline in the complete opposite way and say, you know, Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft CEO says Assassin's Creed is selling okay. and they won't be decreasing their investment in VR.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same news too.
It's not how you get people to click on your link, though.
Yeah, so I don't think it was a sky is falling moment like some people were acting like, oh.
But I mean, honestly, with the trajectory of VR, would it matter? You know, I mean, if in fact it was like they were like, we'll never do VR again ever. You know, not a penny.
It's not a make it or break it moment.
It's not going to like be like, oh no, there goes the VR industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, okay, well, I guess that sucks it didn't work out for you. But there's so much opportunity to be had in the space right now. It's like, you know, and shit, I think even years ago we said when AAA studios do decide they're going to start coming into VR, the longer they wait, the more difficult it's going to be when you have those studios out there who are consistently crushing it. So, you know, but to get back to your thing, it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
The way that it was spun. Cause
it's not like they said things were bad. It's not like
the only upside is when you clicked on any of those links, it actually brought you to the legit.
But you got to go that
legit
far.
article, and if you read it, and then you'd see. But there's some people how they get their news is just by reading the headlines.
Correct.
And that's not necessarily news.
And I'm very disappointed to see it when it's people that like, you know, they try to do some VR media, which hey, that's what we do too. And they tend to position themselves as like for the industry and like, but then the moment you get a chance to shit on things, the
shit sells.
Yeah, I don't like that though.
Why?
You know, it's like,
I mean,
I know it's classic clickbait.
The angrier
stuff.
you are, the more of a jerk you are. It's like it's a proven formula that works.
It's just not how I do business. Is all I'm gonna say. Look, the Ubisoft CEO came out and said the sales of Assassin's Creed Nexus sucked. We're never doing VR again. I would report on it as that's what happened, but that's not what happened.
No,
he just said
people should read the article. They'll see.
Selling okay. It continues to sell.
Yeah, I'm not quoting them.
bit disappointed didn't sell more, and you know they won't be increasing their investment yet, but they're also not decreasing. So Assassin's Creed Nexus, I liked it. I had a lot of fun with it,
and it had to be a fat budget to make that game. So
I think the biggest hindrance with Assassin's Creed Nexus was dropping right next to Arizona Sunshine 2, Vampire the Masquerade Justice, and Asgard's Wrath 2, all within like 30 days of each other.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
that's a toughie.
You know, I don't know. Even last...
We're over the Asgard's Wrath 2 time frame in my head of what the slowpoke player would be, so now you can release some bombs, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, they were still in that area together.
Mm-hmm. Too close.
I can't help but, I mean, like, I get it. You all want those holiday sales, but I saw people in our Discord and, of course, elsewhere as well pretty much saying I got to pick between Arizona Sunshine 2 and Assassin's Creed Nexus. So if those games were just spaced out a little bit more, the same person would have bought in both of them. But instead, they had to choose Arizona Sunshine 2 or Assassin's Creed Nexus. People don't have $200 a month in 1 week to spend on games, you know? Some people do, but...
Was it SideQuest that was saying that she would advise people, you know, don't release a game around the holiday? Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the money.
I think Orla Harris said it's February that things start to really...
Yeah, let the big players have their little...
Yeah.
And then, you know, come in after.
So it's kind of crazy. I can't help but feel like that big titles competed with each other over the holidays in a way that they shouldn't have if it was just spaced out a little bit more. That's just my opinion.
Sorry, the consumers won out at the end of the day on that one.
So
we got three great games to play. So
yeah, if you could afford all three of them, you know. Even this month, it's like last week we saw Ghosts of Tabor and Dragon Fist Kung Fu come out on the same day. Why? There's 7 days in a week. You drop the same day as Ghosts of Tabor? It's like, dude, there's 7 days in the week. Why are we only able to drop games on Thursday? That's how it feels. And it's like, I don't know.
I'm not above my pay grade, sir.
Yeah, it feels strange to say.
I'm not in that, no.
To say the least. You know, the reality is that there's going to be people that want both Dragon Fist Kung Fu and Ghosts of Tabor, but since they came out the same day, they're going to have to pick one, and then that's it, you know? So I don't know. I'd like to see games spaced out a little bit more with days of the week. Not all games need to come out on Thursday, as it seems.
I mean, it could have something to do with server preparations and setups. Like it's easier to bulk them into one day. I mean, I have no idea.
It just doesn't make sense to me because you see multiple games drop on the same day. It's like somebody's getting buried.
Sometimes nanotechnology doesn't make sense to me, but
versus like, you do one on one day, you can focus that whole day or two of promotion on that game on their social medias.
Oh, dude,
and then the next
you're
day,
preaching to the choir.
It just doesn't make sense.
I just don't understand the.
And I also think, again, it's not taking into consideration that consumers have other money in it. Like, they can't buy every game. Not everybody can. And that's the type of stuff that can make people kind of push away a little bit.
Well, I don't think most people would buy any game of, anything, whether it be flat screen or PC or, some people have their genres. Some people have their game, I mean, remember when like older people would play Mahjong, like that was their jam and nothing but. So I see both sides.
Yeah, I just think it wouldn't hurt to space out a little bit more on days of the week. And, just don't load up 3-4 game releases on the same day. Like I said, if I was Dragon Fist VR, I'd be like, yo, drop me on like the Tuesday before, the Monday after, the Monday before, not on the same day as Ghosts of Tabor. You're going to go poof. Nobody's going to see you. That's the truth. Or, any game that dropped with Asgard's Wrath too, good luck. How are you going to get any attention, So hopefully we see some more spacing so we don't see as many buried titles. And, again, I think Ubisoft sales with Assassin's Creed 2 might have even been a bit better if there wasn't so much internal store competition. But ending the news on a little bit more of a positive note, a great looking game. We watched the trailer before we started. It was called Breath Edge Cosmic Cluck, which you have it's a story-based VR game it's a comedy adventure, it says, and you have a companion chicken who follows you around the whole game.
Yeah, they had me at Chicken Companion.
It looks hilarious. It does. They have me pretty sold.
Like puzzly element, comedic element.
It's a little sci-fi comedy adventure. Yeah. It could be anything in there. There could be combat. There could be puzzles, like you said. Could just be exploration. I don't know, but the humor of it has me pretty sold.
Yeah, didn't look visually bad. So
Cosmic Cluck. Why am I such a sucker for absolutely silly and ridiculous things? Like I'm so immature sometimes. It's like I see Chicken Companion, Cosmic Cluck. I'm like sold.
Sometimes you like.
It just works.
Sometimes I wish I was in the department of hearing people's pitches for their product before it's actually made, just to hear how that person sold it.
Yeah, you want to hear how this one was pitched and sold and got.
Check it out, man. And you're going to be in space. I'm going to have you doing shit, have you building shit and doing shit. No. Check it out. The best part, man, dude, you're going to have a sidekick. It's a chicken. It's like, what?
Everybody just goes.
And I already got the name figured out.
Cosmic Cluck.
Cosmic Cluck.
It's Breath Edge Cosmic Cluck.
Dude, that's the fucking funniest thing I fucking ever heard. Oh my God, man.
Slapping the knees.
Like, does the creation of this game start with back in college? We had, it just seems it seems fun. I'm just goofing on the.
No, I agree with you, though.
Imaginative way that the game came to be.
I want to hear how the creators themselves explain this game to people in development, trying to sell it to them and everything.
I guess just on the humor factor alone. And the fact that, who's done it, I can't recall ever playing a game with a chicken co-host.
I've always just been a sucker for this type of silly, goofy stuff too. Lobster hands, like in
if the mechanics are going to work, because it looks like they got a lot of shit going on. Honestly, like between the jokes of having the chicken partner, but it looks like there's some like swing and rope element to it. There's some shooting element, I think. So there's some puzzle element, and then the narrative element, which is I'm expecting to be as equal as the game. So I'm not.
Well, I'd be shocked
hyping it too much up in my own head.
If the entire theme of the game is silly and cosmic, or silly and comedic with the chicken and everything like that, and then suddenly it gets to the narrative story part and it's super serious.
Flat,
No, they're going to have that type of dumb humor in it the whole way.
I hope so.
It's like in
I hope so.
It's like the humor in Townsmen VR. Your dude that you're working with is Sir Clunk-a-Lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? You think that humor just goes away? No, you're going to read gravestones later, and it's going to be like some pun about a dead body. You know, it's like that type of humor carries the whole way.
Yeah,
I
Bobby
expect this.
Bone or something.
Yeah.
Which is not one of them, but
Just stuff like that. You know, it's just a bunch of silly puns, and it's going to be that same thing. I have a feeling with Cosmic Cluck.
I'm excited to see though.
Yeah. I think there's even like chicken nugget jokes in the opening of the trailer. Like, come on, sold. Take my money. So I'm hyped to see it. You know what?
Man.
You know what? One we talked about it the other week, so I won't spend a bunch of time on it. But I'm super excited to check out when it comes out. The Pirate Queen with Lucy Liu.
Yeah,
That's another narrative one.
Again, she's putting her money into this project. So.
Well, she's a producer in it. You know, she's
producer usually
voice
means
actor.
You got a checkbook.
And you're involved in some major way.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so cool to see bigger names become
Although
involved
you can
in
just
VR.
be a financial producer and still get producing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm
but
curious
you can
how
see
involved.
she's not.
Well, you can tell it's a passion project with her too. It's not something she had to do. But it's cool to see these type of big names get involved in VR, like Lucy Liu, and then also I know Jewel. She launched a meditation app in VR like a year ago, and it's still going. I don't know if it's going strong, but it's going.
Talk you through mindfulness.
Pretty much. And I like Jewel, man. Jewel was cool in the late 90s and such.
Oh, man, I feel bad if she hears that. Be like, oh, my God, that was the 90s when this guy was listening to me.
Yeah, you know. Well, hey, 1996.
Time moves on.
I was born in 96, you know.
Dude, I get it.
Yeah, what am I going to do, listen to you before I was born? No, I was born in 96. I'm going to listen to you in the 90s when I'm like 3 and 4. Come on. If anything, it was more like the 2000s I listened to you if you want to be even better.
Totally true. No, I get it.
So,
no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, cool. And then, that's about it for news today. Fun episode, though. Time flies. Always doing this stuff. I was fighting a little head cold all week, so
yeah,
I apologize if at any point I was a little spacey.
If I go down, folks, you know why.
Yes, I killed my father.
Right.
If there's at any point I was a little spacey or anything like that, just know, hey, I'm doing the best I can. But I'm on the up and up now.
People right now are like, wow, you sounded more sharp than you ever did, to be
honest with you. Can you be sick every week? I think I sounded a little nasally too, man.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that stuff as a listener, so I apologize to anybody if you stuck around and listened to it.
You weren't sniffling, so
you're a trooper. Yeah, I try to not do the sniffles and that type of stuff, even as tempting as it might be. Did blow my nose during the ad break.
There was one episode I did sick, and oh man, it was the worst.
Well, it's only because it's worse. I feel like sometimes when it's yourself listening back to it, like maybe it doesn't bother other people as much, but I hate when I hear people sound sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes me feel a little sick. So
you sound gross. Stop talking.
Hey, if you're still listening at this point, you're a trooper. Appreciate how much you enjoy the show to sit through that. It would be some funny shit if I was like the sharpest I've ever been today too, because I definitely do feel a little spacey.
It's possible
in that regard. Yeah, let's see. But fun stuff this week. We got another news episode dropping next week, of course. Later this week, we have a great interview
I'm excited.
with a music producer in VR games. This is one that you've wanted since we started the show. You're like, you were the OG of us two hyping up the music side, and then you really grew that appreciation onto me. But I know that you were excited for this one, and it's a great freaking interview too.
Yeah, and I think it's an area too that now that we've spoken to him, we should go after for other games that we love that like really put that effort into good music scores.
Well, our interview with him is one of those that I think we could have done 3 hours. I even got the vibe of him of like, hey, why are we wrapping this up? I'm ready to keep going. But I always like
it's only been an hour. What's your problem?
I always like to leave a little bit more for next time, just to make sure that, don't burn it all out on day one.
No, and this guy's not going anywhere.
No, so great interview on Wednesday.
He'll be sitting there making music.
More stuff coming up next week. I got a little trip coming up to Austin pretty soon as well, too, so that'll be pretty fun. And I don't know, 2024 is off to a great start for Ruff Talk VR.
I would agree.
Yeah, taking advantage of the MetaQuest Creator Program with free keys for Townsmen VR, Samba Amigo. Might scoop up some more. Let's see what's up.
See.
If anybody has Hunt Together, that's one that I'm looking to grab soon. So they'll pop in our Discord. Let me know your thoughts, and also if you want to do some psychological hunting together. Come on. And thank you again to everybody in our Discord. Thank you to all the listeners. If you're not in the Discord yet, go visit the link in our show notes. Go join that. While you're at it, because you're feeling so nice too, you can go join our Patreon as well. Some different tiers like just supporting, get you some access to a Discord channel in our Discord server just for Patreon peeps. We also got a tier for on-air shout-outs, as you heard earlier in the show. Got a tier for your name across the bottom of the ticker. And you could even join the on-air shout-out tier, and I'll shout out your cat, your dog, whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be your name. So thank you again to all the listeners. And, we'll check you out later this week.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.